So we'll start off the class taking a moment to find a comfortable position. You could be seated or you could be laying down. It's up to you. Finding a position that allows you to feel supported and allows you to release your weight downwards into the earth. And once you found that position that's comfortable, start to allow yourself to settle in a little bit more deeply, allowing your body to get heavier on the ground at each and every point of contact. So every place where your body touches down on something else, allowing it to settle in and accept that support from beneath. And we'll take a moment to scan through the body, starting at the top of the head and working the way down. Noticing if there are any areas where you're holding on to tension still. Notice if there are any areas where you're feeling tight. And just making note so that we can address them later on in the practice. And if there are any of those areas that you feel you could soften and release, feel free to do so as you move through your scan. From here, let's bring our awareness to our breathing without trying to change anything. It's just noticing how your body feels as you inhale and as you exhale. Notice where your breath travels as it enters and exits the body. And again, notice any areas of tightness or tension that are highlighted by your breath. And if you do notice that your breathing is a bit shallow or short, maybe allow your next inhale to be a little bit deeper, drawing that air all the way down the length of the spine, filling up the rib cage, filling up the belly, and then releasing the opposite direction, letting the belly soften, letting the rib cage soften. As we inhale, let's create space, filling up. And as we exhale, let's find softness. And continuing to breathe slowly and steadily at a comfortable rhythm. Start to bring a little bit of movement back into fingers and toes. Maybe circling wrists and ankles and turning the head gently from side to side. Bring the body back to stillness. If you are laying on your back, taking a moment to roll over onto one side and pausing there. And then slowly make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Allowing yourself to sit up nice and tall, moving any flesh out of the way so that you can ground down through both sides of the body. Both sitting bones connect with the mat or with something else if you're sitting on a prop. Once you feel tall and steady, let's start to bring some movement into the shoulders, lifting shoulders up towards the ears and squeezing the shoulder blades together, drawing them down the back. Inhaling, lifting up, and then exhaling to squeeze and lower. Taking your time here. If you can, matching your movement with your breath so that as you're inhaling, your shoulders are moving up, and as you're exhaling, they're moving down. And I'll take it the other direction, still inhaling to lift up, and now as we exhale, let's roll the shoulders forward, spread the shoulder blades nice and wide. Let's bring the shoulders back to stillness. We'll dip the chin down towards the chest and then slowly roll the chin over towards one shoulder. Back down through center and over to the other side. Taking your time moving back and forth. And allowing yourself to pause anywhere that you feel you might need a deeper stretch. And once again, being mindful of where you feel this movement and how it feels for you. And then we'll bring the head back to stillness, lining it up with the spine once again. As we inhale, let's take both arms up overhead. As we exhale, let's drop the left hand down and extend the right arm over. We'll inhale all the way back up through center and exhale over to the other side. With each inhale, reaching up high, taking both hands up overhead. With the exhale, leaning to one side or the other. Once again, matching your movement with your breath. And as you're leaning over towards the right, really anchor down through the left hip. And as you're leaning over towards the left, anchor down through the right. Really focusing on lengthening the side of the body that's extended. And the next time you lean over to the left, we'll pause there for a moment, letting the left hand rest on the floor, letting the right arm reach up and over. If you notice your right shoulder dipping forward, draw it back so the shoulders and hips are all in line with one another. You can either look ahead or maybe look up towards the ceiling. Breathing in to lengthen and breathing out, maybe hinging a little bit further over. Let's inhale, releasing, coming all the way back up. And we'll exhale, right hand down to the ground, extending the left arm up and over. Same thing here, anchoring down through the left hip, lengthening all along the left side of the body. If you notice the left shoulder dipping in, draw it back. You can either look down or look up towards the ceiling. Breathing in to reach up and breathing out, reaching over. Good, let's release. We'll come all the way back up to center and then draw the hands down in front of the heart. And let's release the hands. And we'll move into seated on the floor with the right leg extended out in front of us. We'll bend the left knee, placing the sole of the left foot just inside the left thigh. And we'll flex at the right ankle so the toes are pointing straight up or drawing back towards the shin. From here, we'll tent our fingers back behind us, press into the floor and lift up tall. Take a nice deep breath in, and as we exhale, we'll hinge at the hips, leaning forward. As we inhale, we'll focus on lengthening the spine. And as we exhale, hinging at the hips. If you'd like, you can walk your hands out in front of your body, placing them on the floor or somewhere on your leg. And we'll breathe in to lengthen and breathe out to soften. Finding a place where there's a comfortable stretch along the back of your leg, nothing too intense. And allowing yourself to breathe and ease into the pose. Taking one or two more slow, deep breaths on this side, allowing yourself to move into your deepest version of this pose. Really noticing where you're at right now. And then we'll slowly release, walking the hands back towards the body, and we'll switch sides, extending the left leg out and folding the right leg in. Again, on this side, we'll start with flexing the ankle, drawing the toes back or up. We'll tent the fingers behind the body to lift up tall. And then as we exhale, we'll start to hinge forward at the hips. Being mindful that one side might be a little bit different from the other, so really tuning in to how that feels for you. You can leave your hands back behind you, or you can walk them out in front of your body if you'd like to place them on the floor or somewhere on your leg. As we breathe in, we'll root down through the tailbone, sit up nice and tall. And as we breathe out, maybe hinge a little bit further forward. Being gentle with yourself and really giving yourself the time that you need to move into the pose. Taking two more slow, deep breaths on this side. And then we'll start to walk the hands back up towards the body. We'll make our way into a tabletop. We'll find our hands and knees, letting the hands be about shoulder distance apart, knees about hip distance apart. We'll move through a few rounds of cat and cow, inhaling to lower the belly, draw the shoulder back and look ahead. And then exhaling to round the spine, spread the shoulders and look back to the knees. We'll alternate back and forth between those two, warming up the spine. Let's come back to a neutral spine. From here, we'll press the fingers down into the floor, grip with the fingertips, and we'll step back to downward facing dog, drawing the heels down and back, lifting the hips up. You can choose if you want to pedal out through your feet, bringing some movement into knees and ankles. And then we'll come back to stillness and downward facing dog and slowly make our way up to the top of our mat. Coming into a forward fold, Uttanasana. From here, as we inhale, let's bring our hands onto our shins. We'll lengthen out the spine, lengthen out the legs, and then we'll exhale, folding forward. Let's inhale, coming all the way up, reaching those hands up overhead. And we'll exhale, drawing them down into heart center. Pausing for a moment in our mountain pose, letting our feet be about hip distance apart. Arms extend down alongside the body, reaching up through the crown of the head as we inhale, rooting down as we exhale. Drawing up through the inner arches of the feet, rooting down through the ball of the foot and the heel. And spreading the fingers with some energy. Okay, let's inhale, reaching up. We'll exhale, bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to full plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat for forward fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Palms meeting up overhead and exhale, hands down, heart center. Warming up with some sun salutations. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold, planting the hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, bend the knees, step or walk to the top of the mat for forward fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, come all the way up, palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Again, inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling to bend the knees and fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Good, changing it up. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale for half back. Here, we'll exhale to fold. Place the left hand down just in front of the feet. We'll straighten out the right leg, bend through the left leg, and reach that right hand up, opening up towards the right side, just like we did on Tuesday. You can either look up towards the right hand or down towards the left. So inhale, reach up. And exhale, release, bending both knees. Let's plant the hands and we'll step back to downward facing dog. As we inhale, let's look forward. As we exhale, step or walk to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Let's do the other side. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Plant the right hand in front of the feet. We'll start to straighten out through the left leg, bend the right knee, and then reach the left hand up, twisting open to the left. Inhale, reaching up, stacking the shoulders. And once again, inhale, reach up, and then we'll exhale, bend the left knee, start to release down onto the ground and step back to downward facing dog. We'll inhale here, and then exhale back into forward fold. Uttanasana at the top of the mat. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Let's exhale, hands down to heart center. Pausing for a moment, finding our mountain pose. Checking in, scanning through the body, noticing any new sensation. Noticing the feeling of the breath. And then from here, we'll inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. Let's bend and open towards the right side. Exhale, releasing down, stepping back, downward facing dog. From here, let's inhale, looking forward. Let's step with the right only towards the top of the mat. We'll stack the right knee over right ankle. Back heel is going to stay lifted and pressing back. We'll get lighter on our fingertips, and then we'll inhale those hands up overhead for a crescent lunge. Pressing back through the left heel, reaching up with the hands. Take a nice deep breath in, and then we'll exhale, hands down to the mat. We'll step the left foot forward to meet the right, coming into a forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach those hands up overhead. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Other side, inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold, bending and opening up towards the left side. Exhaling back down to the ground, stepping back downward facing dog. Let's inhale, looking forward. Exhale, step the left foot through, We'll keep the right heel lifted, pressing back. Left knee stacks over left ankle. We'll get lighter on the fingertips. And then come all the way up, inhaling those hands up overhead. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step forward. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. Let's inhale, coming all the way up. Hands meet up overhead. And we'll exhale down to heart center. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, folding. Let's inhale, half back. Exhale to fold, bending and twisting open to the right as we inhale. Exhaling, hands down to the mat, stepping back, downward facing dog. Good, let's inhale here, looking forward. Exhale, step the right foot up. This time we'll turn the left toes open to the side, plant the outer left foot, and we'll come all the way up into our warrior two. Stacking shoulders over hips, extending fingers wide. You can stay in stillness or inhale for exalted warrior. And then we'll exhale our hands down to the mat, turn those left toes forward and step them up. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. Let's inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Other side, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bending the knees and folding. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Let's inhale, opening up towards the left. Reach that left hand nice and high. Exhale, plant the hands, step back down, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, looking forward. Exhale, step the left foot up. Turn the right toes out to the side, plant the outer right foot. We'll inhale, coming all the way up into our warrior two, stacking shoulders over hips. Staying here or inhaling exalted warrior. And then we'll exhale both hands down to the mat and step forward. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's release into our mountain pose. Once again, pausing, exploring. Making this an active mountain pose, rooting down through both feet. Reaching out with the fingertips. Lengthening up. Drawing the shoulders down the back to broaden the collarbone. And finding equal weight beneath both feet. We're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to take out the half back and keep the twist open to the side. It'll just flow a little bit more nicely. Let's inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Let's inhale, open to the right. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale here, looking forward. Let's exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. We'll keep that left heel up, but we'll drop the left knee down. So we're in a low lunge. Bring our left hand just inside of our right foot. And inhale, reaching the right hand up. Low lunge with a twist. Let's exhale, dropping the right hand down. We'll move the left hand wide. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, come all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. We'll exhale down to heart center. Hopefully we're getting warm by now. Let's inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Let's inhale, open to the left. Exhale, hands back down to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, looking forward. Exhale, left foot up. Let's drop that right knee down. We'll bring the right hand just inside the left foot and inhale, open to the left side. And let's exhale, left hand down, right hand wide. Inhale, right knee off the ground. And exhale, step forward, forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. We'll inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale down to heart center. Good, let's inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, we'll bend the knees and fold. Inhale, open to the right. Exhale to fold, step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, looking forward. Exhale, this time step with the left foot first. We'll turn the right toes open to the side. And we'll inhale, coming all the way up to our warrior two. From here, let's start to straighten out the left leg. We'll kick the hips back, extend the left arm forward, and then reach that left hand down as right arm reaches up for a triangle pose. You can either look down towards your left toes or up towards your right hand. And try not to put too much weight on your left leg. Allow yourself to lift up as much as you're reaching down. Lengthening all along the spine and through the inner left thigh. Good, one more inhale, reach up. Let's exhale, release that right hand down, turn the right toes forward and step up to the top of the mat. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. We'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale, opening up to the left. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, looking forward. Exhale, right foot up. Let's turn the left toes open to the side. And we'll come all the way up to our warrior two as we inhale. From here, let's start to straighten out the right leg. We'll shift the hips back, shift the right hand forward. And on an exhale, drop that right hand, lift the left hand high. Let's inhale, reaching up. lengthening, stacking shoulders. One more inhale up. And then we'll exhale, hands down to the ground, turning left toes forward and stepping the left foot up. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhale, twist open to the right. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, bend the knees and look forward. Exhale, step the left foot up. Turn the right toes open to the side. And inhale all the way up to our warrior two. From here, let's straighten out the left leg. We'll turn the left toes the same way as the right. So we're facing sideways on the mat. Let's bring our hands down onto our hips. We'll inhale, lift up. Lengthen through the spine, press the chest forward. And then as we exhale, let's hinge at the hips and lean. You can place your hands somewhere on your legs for support or down onto the floor in front of you. You can adjust the distance between your legs, taking them either wider or closer to find a position that's comfortable for you. You want to find a place to put your feet so that you can still find energy through the legs. If you were to imagine drawing your feet together, you feel those muscles in your legs start to turn on. But wide enough apart that you feel a stretch along the inner thighs. Breathing in to lengthen the spine, reaching tailbone back, crown of the head forward. Gaze is straight down at the floor. And then exhaling, maybe hinging a little bit deeper, only if it's comfortable for you. Take 2 more breaths like that. And then we'll bend the knees, coming all the way back up. Let's turn those left toes forward once again. Bring the hands down to the mat and we'll step the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, reaching those hands up overhead. And we'll exhale down to heart center. Let's release the arms at the sides and pause in our mountain pose. Once again, checking in, finding all of those points of focus, the feet, tucking the tailbone gently, drawing the shoulders back, fingers spread, crown of the head lifts up. And really scan through the body, notice how you're feeling here. I'm going to continue to instruct those twists open to the side in our forward fold instead of half back. But if you're low back or if your legs are bothering you at all, you can take a half back instead. Let's inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Let's inhale, open to the right or half back. We'll exhale down to the mat and step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, bend the knees and look forward. This time, right foot steps up. We're going to step the left foot in just a little bit, plant the heel down, and let the toes point towards the top left corner of the mat. So we're setting up for our warrior one. When you're ready, getting lighter on your fingertips and inhale all the way up, hands up overhead. So in our warrior one, we want a comfortable distance between our feet, and we want hips and shoulders squaring towards the front of the room. Your right knee will stack over your right ankle, and the whole outer edge of your left foot will press down. If you find that your hips are turning open towards the left side instead of towards the front, you can step your left foot out a little bit wider or bring it up a little bit closer. If you like, you can have your arms extended up overhead. You can bring them down to your hips or in front of heart center if you prefer. We'll soften our shoulders down. Bring some energy into the hands, either spreading the fingers or pressing the hands together. Let's inhale, lift up. And then we'll exhale, bring the hands back down to the ground, step forward, forward fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, come all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Other side, let's inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Let's inhale, open to the left or half back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, looking forward. Exhale the left foot up to the top of the mat. We'll step the right foot up a little, plant the heel down so the right toes point towards the top right corner. Left knee stacks over left ankle. And we'll get lighter on our fingertips until we're able to come all the way up. You can have your arms extended up overhead or on the hips as we check out our alignment here. You want a comfortable distance between your feet, so there's maybe a little bit of a stretch along the back of your right leg. You can lunge into your left knee and still sit your left toes. And your hips and shoulders are squaring towards the front. So again, if you need to step the right foot a little bit wider or a little bit closer, you can do that. Options for the hands are hands on the hips, hands at the heart, or arms extended up overhead for warrior one. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, plant the hands, step forward. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, coming all the way back up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Last one in the sequence. Let's inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, open or half back. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step back, downward facing dog. Good, let's inhale, looking forward. Exhale the right foot to the top of the mat. We'll set up with our warrior one feet. And we'll inhale, coming all the way up. Let's bring our hands down to our heart center and we'll straighten out through the right leg. Remember, hips and shoulders square towards the front of the room. Let's inhale, lift up, and as we exhale, let's hinge at the hips and fold forward for pyramid pose. Finding maybe a pretty deep stretch along the back of the right leg, so being mindful of that. Options for your hands are hands at heart center. You could choose reverse Anjali Mudra with hands at the back in the same formation. Or you could choose to rest your hands somewhere down on your right leg. As we breathe in, let's lengthen crown of the head away from tailbone. And as we breathe out, maybe hinge a little bit deeper. Do one more inhale here. And then we'll exhale, bend the knee, plant the hands, step the left foot forward. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Exhale to fold. Inhaling all the way up. Hands meet up overhead. And we'll exhale down to heart center. Other side. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling to bend the knees and fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, looking ahead. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. We'll move the right foot up into warrior one position. Then we'll inhale all the way up into our warrior one. Let's take our hands down to heart center and straighten out through the left leg. And take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we'll hinge at the hips and fold forward. Leaning directly over that left leg. Tailbone lengthens back, crown of the head lengthens forward as we look down towards the floor. Again, three options for the hands, at heart center, an Anjali Mudra on the back, or resting somewhere on your left leg. Taking whatever variation feels best for you. We'll inhale one more time here, lengthening crown of the head forward. And then we'll exhale, hands down to the mat, bend the left knee, step the right foot forward. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Hands up overhead. And we'll exhale down to heart center. Releasing the hands at the sides and coming into our mountain pose. Rooting down equally through both feet. Maybe lifting the toes up. Feeling the ball of the foot and the heel press down. Inner arch of the foot lifts. And then we'll lower those toes slowly back down onto the earth. We'll lift the shoulders up, together and down the back. Allow the breath to slow. Allow it to find a steady, comfortable rhythm. Feel the beating of the heart. And find something ahead of you that's not moving that you can look at, a focal point for your gaze. And once you've found that focal point, we'll start to shift our weight over into our left foot, bending the left knee slightly. Bring our hands onto our hips. From here, let's bend the right knee and lift the right foot up off the floor so that the right knee is bent at a right angle. Ankle is flexed, and the knee is directly in front of that right hip. So you can stay here, or if you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, you can start to straighten out that right leg directly in front of you, pressing the heel forward, lifting the leg high. Don't worry, it's supposed to burn. 2 more breaths. And then we'll lower down. We'll start to shift our weight over into our right foot, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Grounding down through right foot, gazing at your focal point, studying your breath. And then when you're ready, bending through the left knee, lifting that left foot up off the floor, flexing at the ankle. Bringing that left knee to a right angle, so the knee is directly in front of the hip and over top of the ankle. You can stay right here. Or if you'd like, again, a little bit more of a challenge, you can straighten out your left leg, pressing your heel forward. Keep breathing. Keep lifting. For 2 more breaths. And then we'll lower down. Let's take a moment to find our balance once again. Similar, but a little bit different. Start to shift our weight over into our left foot, bending the left knee slightly. Bend the right knee so it lifts the foot up off the floor, bringing that leg to a 90-degree angle. You can stay here, or if you'd like, you can bring your right elbow inside of your left knee and reach down for your toes or the outer edge of your right foot. Bringing that knee in towards your underarm, standing up tall. Now this might be where you stay here. Or when you're ready, you can choose to keep focused on your focal point, on your gaze, and then start to straighten out that right leg in front of you. Maybe feeling a stretch along the back of the right shoulder blade. Pressing the right heel forward. Notice the difference in the sensation in your leg here. Instead of the top of your leg, maybe you're feeling it in the back of your leg. Taking 2 more breaths. And then slowly lower all the way back down and stand up tall. Let's do the same on the other side. Start to shift your weight over into the right foot, a little bit of a bend in the right knee. Hands come onto the hips, and we'll lift the left knee so that that knee forms a right angle. Maybe you stay here. Maybe if you'd like, you can bring your elbow inside your left knee, and take hold of your left big toe or the outer edge of your left foot. Standing up tall, bringing that heel in nice and close again. Maybe this is where you stay. Or if you'd like, gazing straight at your focal point, soften your gaze, and start to straighten out that left foot directly in front of you. Try to keep your shoulders back, keep your collarbone broad. Keep pressing forward with the left heel. Breathe slow and steady. 1 more. And then we'll slowly release, coming all the way back to standing. Let's take a moment to roll through wrists and roll through ankles. I'm never able to do that one unless I do a lot of hamstring stretches ahead of time. So I structure the class the way I did. Hopefully it was helpful to you. Let's come all the way back to the top of our mats. Shake off that pose, whether you held it, whether you didn't. It's over. Moving on to the next thing. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to full plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Maybe taking a moment to observe any differences in your down dog from the first time you came into it today. One thing I noticed right away is my heels are a lot lower. Now my heels will probably never touch the ground just because of the structure of my ankles, but I was able to stretch out the backs of my legs quite a bit in this class. It feels more comfortable to stay here as well. And take 1 more deep breath in. And then we'll lower our knees down onto the ground. We'll take child's pose, either with knees together or with knees wide apart. You can extend your arms out in front of you, or you can take your hands back towards your feet so that your arms line up along the sides of your body and your shoulder blades spread. Allowing your head to rest down on the ground. Breathing into the back of the body. Let's take 1 or 2 more slow, deep breaths here. And then we'll slowly come all the way back upright. Shift our hips off to one side and we'll extend our feet out in front of us. Making sure you have enough room behind you to lay down. Take the arms out in front of the body, lift up nice and tall, and then slowly roll down onto the ground, one vertebra at a time. Really taking your time, coming down so slow. And then once you're all the way down, extend arms up overhead, reach toes forward, lengthen all along the body. We'll do a brief twist, so 3 different options. Start by drawing the knees in towards the chest, arms out into a T shape. And we'll shift the knees over to the left side. You can leave the knees stacked. You can extend your left leg out onto the floor for a little bit of a deeper variation. And finally, to deepen even further, you can extend your right leg all the way out, pressing out through the heel. A much more intense stretch for the IT band, so only doing that if you're comfortable. You can choose if you want to look over towards the right fingertips. Take 2 slow, deep breaths here. And then 1 more inhale. And we'll exhale back to center. Lining everything up, taking a deep breath in. And we'll exhale both knees over to the right side. You can leave your knees stacked. You can extend your right leg out onto the ground so you have a single leg twist. And again, for a little bit more intensity, you can straighten out that left leg if it's comfortable for you. Pressing out through the left heel. And maybe looking over towards the left side. Taking 2 slow, deep breaths. And then on an exhale, bring those knees all the way back in. Let's take a moment to rock gently from side to side. And from here, we'll find a final resting pose. So a few options. If you have any low back tenderness, you can place your feet mat distance apart and allow your knees to rock together. Tucking the tailbone under so that the low back is flat on the mat. If you don't have any low back issues and you'd like to take a full Shavasana, you can extend your legs out to the top corners and let your toes rock open to the sides. If you're on your back, drawing your shoulders down the back and pressing them into the mat, you can extend your arms out alongside your body. You might also choose a side lying position or a seated position if you prefer. Really any relaxing position. We'll allow the eyes to softly close, getting a little bit heavier in their socket. Allow the jaw to release open and the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Softening the muscles of the forehead. Softening the jaw. Releasing the throat, the neck, the shoulders. And finding a sense of heaviness all along the back of the body where you're touching down on the mat or on the floor. Feeling that connection between your body and the surface deepening as you settle into the shape. And if you have been working on controlling your breath, even letting that go, allowing your breathing to find a comfortable, natural rhythm. Something that feels soft and peaceful. And we'll pause for a few moments, continuing to soften the body, continuing to get a little bit heavier with each exhale. Maybe finding a small sense of lightness as you breathe in. Allow yourself just to be. And when you're ready, starting to invite some small movements back into fingers and toes. Maybe circling wrists and ankles. Turning the head from side to side. And coming back to stillness. If you are laying on your back, maybe drawing your knees into your chest and rolling over onto one side of the body, whichever one's more comfortable. Pausing there for just a moment. And then when you feel ready, coming up to a seated position. If you have been seated already and you want to change your position, you can do that. And just as we did at the start of the class, let's move the flesh away from the sitting bones so we can ground down equally. Sit up nice and tall. And bring hands together in front of the heart. Let the shoulders soften down. We allow the head to drop slightly. I'd like to thank you for joining me and allowing me to guide you through this practice. From my light to yours. Namaste.